Okay, making data visualization easy for users to understand. Charts and graphs need to be considered in the user experience too. I'm going to do a lot of name dropping and link posting, and it's going to be quick, but it's going to be a good starting point. I'm Amy Cesal. I'm a graphic designer, but I really love doing data visualization. So much so that I got my master's from MICA in information visualization. And this is where you can find me on the internet. I'll tweet my slides so you can go back if you want them. Data visualization is quantitative information presented in a visual form that's easier for the brain to comprehend. You generally lose a bit of accuracy, but you gain, the trade-off is you make trends and comparisons more accessible. Like most other things, data visualization is best designed with a user in mind. There's a trade-off between a user's effort and understanding, and there should be conscious choices based on the goal. This is a graphic created by the design studio Accurate for a Sunday newspaper supplement. And so they assume that the reader, it's a leisurely Sunday, they have time to kill. So there's an intricate key of how to read the graph on the left side. There's a high barrier of entry to graphs like these because the user needs to learn how to interpret it, but the payoff can be a unique and memorable experience. In contrast, this is a USA Today snapshot that has one quick takeaway. It requires less effort to read this chart, but there's also less information presented. And this is a New York Times scrolling interactive graph. It takes a bit of time to get through. It's a lot of simple pieces, but once you put them all together, the takeaway is huge. Not everyone knows how to read complex charts. A 2014 Pew study showed that only about a third of Americans could correctly interpret a scatter plot. So don't assume your users will get whatever graph type that you throw at them. Pie charts are controversial. Some people argue that you should never use them, and other people think that they're great. However, the truth is a little bit more complex than that. Don't use pie charts when they don't add up to 100%. Don't use pie charts when you have more than a few things to represent. Don't use pie charts when you're showing small differences. Bar charts are way better at this. And don't even think about using 3D pie charts. Just like never ever. But all pie charts are not bad. Robert Cesal looked at the accuracy rate of reading various charts and found that it's higher for simple pie charts than for other forms. And Heather Krause found that illiterate dairy farmers in Bangladesh could not understand the bar chart on the left, but they could interpret the donut chart. And it's because time was related to cycles for them, so they just got it better. There's things designers can do to meet users' expectations and help alleviate some of the cognitive load of reading graphs. Michelle Borkin uses eye tracking to learn how people read data visualizations. So she found that people read the title, or what's on the top left, first. Then they read the subtitle, axes labels, any annotations, all before digging into the data and what that might mean. And when asked to interpret visualization, almost half of users just rephrase the graph title. It's really important to have a great title. Titles frame how people think about graphics. In storytelling with data, Cole, Nussbaum, and Affleck suggest using a takeaway title. When the takeaway is in the title, users are primed to know what to look for in the data. You should always know why you're showing a graph to a user. And Stephanie Evergreen and Ann K. Emery have a data visualization checklist that says use annotations to answer questions a viewer might have or to highlight specific data points. It takes away some of the burden of interpreting it if you do it on the graph for them. And the Financial Times put together a chart of which data type to use for what data. And Stephanie Evergreen also has a deck of chart chooser cards that's similar. These are great resources to use. Remember, charts and graphs need UX too, and I use some resources to help you. I'm Amy Cesal. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Amy.